So we know at our core, we are the peaceful space through which all our human experiences pass. And then someone is angry at us. And often we lose touch in our human awareness of what we really are. We go down the rabbit hole with their anger. An example is I had a boyfriend and we had talked about reading a book together, and then I met another friend who talked about the same book, so I bought the book and dived in, started reading it, and then my boyfriend finds out that I'm 3 chapters in, and he's hurt. He really thought we were actually going to read the book together. I hadn't really recognized that we had made that agreement. I thought it was just kind of a passing idea. So he's hurt. I've even had conversations with my other friend about the book. So we talk through this and resolve it. But now there's like this hidden jealousy that seems to have been triggered. And over he starts getting angry at me in other situations. So this is a perfect example. People get angry at us, right? And they start saying all this stuff. And we feel like it's our right not to have them angry at us. And we feel upset, maybe a little guilty. Did we actually do something to deserve this? Angry at them because they shouldn't be doing that to us. And we buy into all of this. So let's break this down. I can show you how it worked for me. First of all, I just want to point out that what's actually happening, I'm walking or sitting, and my boyfriend is saying these things to me, and it's just sounds coming out of his mouth. And then there's all the interpretations. The interpretation, I must have done something wrong. He shouldn't be doing that. He's angry. All of those things are just interpretations. Literally what is happening, sounds come out of his mouth, tightness happens in my gut, sounds come out of my mouth. That is it, okay? So let's just notice how much of our experience has to do not just with the sensations in our body, but with the interpretations we add in our head. Okay, so to begin with, I first just look at where things are with me in regards to him. So I check, am I in a place of goodwill with him without guilt? So I look and see, as he's angry at me, do I actually have something to make amends for? Is there anything remaining in that prior situation to be resolved? And if so, I take care of that, not while he's angry, but later. And then I get myself to the place, doing whatever I need to, that I know I'm innocent. Now, when I'm solidly in a place, knowing that I'm innocent, knowing that what I feel to him is goodwill, I'd really like him to be happy. I'd really like us to feel our closeness. What I'm feeling towards him is goodwill, and I do not feel guilt. Already, something has shifted. Already, some of that other interpretation about did I do something wrong has left. And my body is much more relaxed. And I'm starting to feel the loving, aware space that I am. And I also know the connection that exists between us. So I know that this anger is actually something that's more superficial to that bigger space. Okay, then the next thing is giving him the freedom and the freedom to release, or whatever he needs the freedom to be. So I can feel compassion. Something in him, and these are just interpretations, seems to be hurt and is reaching towards anger as a way to support himself, to give that extra little protection, whatever it is, the anger is serving him to deal with his hurt right now. And I feel compassion for him. He seems to feel like that's what he needs right now. I know it doesn't seem to feel good, but it's serving him, right? He's choosing anger at that moment. And I give him the freedom to use that tool for now. That's what he needs right now, because that's what he's reaching for. I give him the freedom to be angry. This is perhaps a release. Maybe he's got some other tension in his life, and this is his opportunity to just release that through this expression that he's doing right now. So I give him the freedom. If that's the best he can do, if that's how he knows to release right now, that's okay with me. So see, I've found the inner spaciousness for me, and now I see the inner spaciousness already around him. His anger is okay. There's no lightning coming down on him. The grass isn't dying as he walks on it. It's okay. There's enough space for his anger to come out and flow through. Next is being the loving space. So, he says whatever he's saying. I'm just this space. I'm innocent. I see the space around him, and still my body constricts. That's a natural response. There's nothing wrong with that. My body constricts when I watch a tense movie, and I paid for that experience, right? We as humans, we do things that, we get a little excited, get amped up. So there we go. As he's talking, my body's getting amped up. And I love myself. I love that this is my human response. I don't make it mean that something's wrong with me. Oh, I don't feel that openness right now. No, I don't have to be unhappy about that. I give myself the freedom to feel the tension. And I love myself as my body tenses up or doesn't. And then I notice that what is holding me to even letting his anger flow through here is that I love him. If he were somebody I didn't care about, I'd just be walking away. There would be nothing to hold me to listening to someone as they're, going down their expressions of anger. But I love him. And it seems to be helping that there's just somebody there to listen to him as he releases. So I notice, my idea of how our love would look right now is totally different. But that would be attaching to my idea. As it turns out, what is here right now is that I'm here for his release. And the reason I am is because I love him. And the reason he feels safe enough to do the release with me is because he knows that, and because he loves me. It actually is our love that is the container for this experience. So as I step back and I feel the bigger context, I know that I am love. Love willing to be the space for his release. And that he and I love each other, which is what's holding us together in this experience. And what a great acknowledgement that is. Here I was thinking, he's angry at me. This means there isn't love here. This means we're, in this bad space. Not necessarily. There is love in this experience too. And if I don't have any attachment to how love has to appear, then I can just be the love that hears the angry voice. I can just be the love that allows his release. It doesn't have to go into me. I can be the friendly person holding the garbage can while he's vomiting. He's releasing into the garbage can. I'm just the loving person holding the garbage can. So now the human experience has changed, right? With a new openness and non-attachment. And in this place, I feel so much compassion. And I feel myself to be the loving, aware openness. Not the human who could still get afraid or still get constricted, and I just love her too. But I feel fundamentally at the deepest part the true nature. That's the flow of life itself. And in that compassion, I can see, is there a time when he's just ramping up in a way that seems to be driving it further, or is he still just releasing and calming down? I can see when there's a time to say, that's enough now, I'm going to have to go, or I love you, and I'm sorry we're not seeing eye to eye on this, thanks for sharing, I'm going to have to go for now, I love you. There's a wisdom that starts to come in through that bigger self. Once I know I'm innocent, I know I'm love, I know that this is just a helpful expression passing through him at the moment. So as you can see, what we are truly is available for a whole range of experiences. And we don't need someone else to be peaceful to know the peace that we are. And the peace that we are is big enough to hold the tension that passes through us and the tension that passes through our loved one. And afterwards, I may just take some time to just rest and remind myself, wow, I love him so much. That is why I sat there. Isn't that amazing that the universe flows through me in love like that? And just savor that experience. Not judging myself, not judging him, not wishing that it has to be different, but instead cherishing that openness that flows with life as life and not in any resistance.